In our previous videos, we established that a racist Liberty media was deliberately spreading the lie that Sir Lewis Hamilton's dominance was killing the sport, to drive him out and make the sport more attractive to its white supremacist audience. In our naivete, we thought that we were exposing a hidden fact, but we were struck by the revelation that some of our viewers appear to be aware of this policy and view it as not racism, but good business sense. We appreciate the candor from our viewers and welcome the debate. But in our humble opinion, what Liberty Media is doing is slam dunk racism. We hope others will feel free to express themselves in the comments below, and we only ask that the language be kept civil. In furtherance of its racist objective of defeating or driving Sir Lewis out of F1, Liberty Media produced a fake report, purporting to represent that Max Verstappen was more popular than Lewis Hamilton. Popularity is no indicator of ability, so what motivated Liberty Media to do this? Well, we believe that this was an essential part of their smear campaign against Sir Lewis, and a precursor to doing things like what they did in Abu Dhabi. The calculation being that if he is so unpopular, then the world will care less about him being robbed. This ill-conceived hatchet plot was so poorly or arrogantly executed that it allows us to provide a detailed insight into the dark arts of media manipulation, for which John Malone is renowned. The hatchet job in question is the report of a 2021 global fan survey, produced for F1. The survey draws so many conclusions that can easily be proven to be false and contrived, that one wonders whether the producers have any respect for their audience or their own reputation. Or perhaps they are so confident that they are preaching to the converted, so it doesn't really matter. A bit like Liberty Media's favored protege, Steve Bannon, spreading the big lie to his right-wing audience. However, what the report demonstrates conclusively is the extent that Liberty Media is prepared to go to smear the greatest F1 driver of all time. One would think that as F1 enthusiasts, Liberty Media and the Formula One group would be relishing living through a historic period that may never come again. One would have thought that Domenicali, in particular, with his role in the Schumacher-Ferrari period of dominance, would appreciate what it takes to dominate. But alas, they all seem so set on ending Sir Lewis Hamilton's dominance that they have exposed themselves with this sham of a report. The report is full of so much rubbish that it will take us a few videos to sift through the pile of garbage. Before delving into the report itself, it is necessary to set the stage by providing some background into the other conspirators, other than Liberty Media, who we have already addressed. The first thing John Malone did was to carefully assemble a team for the hatchet job. He put together a close-knit, interconnected team with a global outreach that is under his tight control and influence. The hatchet team consisted of its wholly owned subsidiary, F1, the global media and technology company, Motorsport Network, and the global market research company, Nielsen. Motorsport Network has an extensive motorsport portfolio and a shareholding in Formula E. Those of you who have been following our series may recall that Liberty Media is also a co-investor in Formula E, along with the FIA. Motorsport Network also has renowned Hamilton frenemy, Fernando Alonso, and Formula E's founder Alejandro Agag as shareholders. Last but not least, McLaren's Zak Brown was its chairman, up until October 2019. The only thing we need to say about Nielsen, the global market research company, is that it began life as a Dutch company called the NU. If Liberty Media's favored protege's big lie can still thrive in some quarters today, then one can only imagine how the little big lies that litter the F1 Global Survey report can flourish unchallenged. Before addressing the biggest little lie of who is the most popular driver, we will first address some of the smaller little lies that the report contains. Firstly, the report asserts that it had 167,302 respondents with the highest female participation ever, of 18.3% of total sample. This puts the female participation at 30,616. The report then asserts that regionally, the female response rates were at their highest in the Middle East and Africa, with 1 in 4 respondents being female. Furthermore, they claimed that they saw a doubling of response from Asia Pacific, Africa and the Middle East, which accounted for 21% of the total response. Now, it is reasonable to expect that the proportion of female participation from Africa and the Middle East will be the lowest among the regional groupings, so we can conservatively use this rate for all the other groups. This puts the overall participation from the Asia Pacific, Africa and the Middle East region at 35,133, and the female participation at 8,783. The report also asserts that 57% of respondents were from Europe, which puts the European participation at 95,362. This then means that the number of female respondents from Europe was 23,840. Therefore, the total number of female respondents from Europe, Asia Pacific, Africa and the Middle East, and excluding the Americas, is 32,623. This cannot possibly be true, given that the total number of female respondents in the whole survey has been put at 30,616. The report also asserts that wherever fans are located and whatever age or gender, the powerful majority view, 90%, is that F1 is the pinnacle of motorsport. The most positive takeout is the trend line on brand attributes for the sport. Exciting is the most popular descriptor this time, while competitive and entertaining enter the top 5 for the first time in our surveys. 58% of fans say the sport has the right balance of sport and entertainment, up from 39% in 2017. This is especially the view of newcomers to the sport. This claim runs contrary to the much-touted and unsubstantiated view that Sir Lewis Hamilton's dominance is making the sport dull. In conclusion, there is evidence to show that the report has been manipulated to produce eye-catching headline figures in support of a false narrative that the producers wish to propagate. Ironically, the report also does not support other false narratives that Liberty Media has been pushing. In our next video, we will focus on the report's false narrative that Max is more popular than Lewis.